So, you're a product manager or a project manager, and you need a way to chart out your product launches or your project timelines. You Googled around and found Gantt charts, and they look like exactly what you need. But every time you click on something, you end up being driven towards a purchase. Or if you download a so-called free template, it's full of advertising that you can't remove. Hours later, you just throw your hands up and declare, why is this so complicated? Why can't you just do this in Excel? Well, turns out you can. And you can do it for free with no templates and no program downloads. Let me show you how to do it. Okay, let's get started. Create a new blank Excel spreadsheet. I do this by right-clicking on the desktop and selecting New Excel Spreadsheet. In the very first cell, let's start with the Names category. These will be the names of our products or our projects. The next column is for when our timeline for each product or project starts. Now, let's create a column for when each product should launch or when the project needs to be completed. And finally, a fourth column for the project duration. Okay, let's name our projects or products. Let's call the first one Widget A, then Widget B, Widget C, Widget D, and Widget E. Next, we type our start date. This is when we want each project to begin or when the product phase-in process starts. For Widget A, let's say 27th of July 23. Widget B, we'll do the same. Widget C, let's start this one in October. Widget D, let's make that begin in the past as it's already in progress. And Widget E, let's start that one next year. Now we repeat the process, but this time we need to type our deadlines. So type the dates of when each project needs to be completed or the product needs to be launched. Let's finish Widget A on the 27th of September. Do the same for Widget B. Let's make C finish in March next year. And let's make D go a bit longer, say October next year. And E, maybe June next year. While Excel is aimed at working with numbers, it's also really clever at working with dates. Let's put the power of Excel to work and get it to figure out how many days each project should take. In the duration cell for Widget A, type the equal sign. Next, click the finish date for Widget A. Now, type the minus sign and click the start date. Press enter and voila! The duration in days is calculated. How cool is that? And here is where it gets even cooler. Click that result and you'll see a little green square in the bottom right hand corner of the cell. Click and drag it down to Widget E's row and presto, you have applied the same formula on all of the dates. And that is our basic data for our chart sorted. Pretty easy so far, right? Well, now is where the real magic happens. Highlight your entire start date column, heading and all, then click Insert, then the bottom right corner of Charts to open it up, then click All Charts, click Bar, and finally Stacked Bars. Click OK. Now you will see something that looks like what we want. Let's tweak it a bit more. Right-click in the chart on some empty space, then click Select Data. Now click Add on the left. And then for the title, click our duration heading. For values, highlight everything already in this window and press Delete. If you leave it in there, you will get an error. Now it's clear, select all of the duration dates. You will see our actual time periods for each project or product appear. Now click OK. Now, let's make it more meaningful by replacing the numbers with our project or product names. Click Edit on the right side of the window and select all of the names. Now click OK. Now click OK again. That's better. It looks like our name order is upside down, so click on them until they are highlighted, then right-click and select Format Axis. A new tab will open on the right side. Look for the option that says Categories in Reverse Order and give it a click. You'll see the order is now reversed. Now, click one of the blue bars and you will see that selects all of them. It also changes the heading on the right to Format Data Series. Click the little icon that looks like a graduation cap to open the Fill menu. Expand Fill and click No Fill. Congratulations! You just made a Gantt chart. Let's make it easier to follow with some grid lines. Click on the names to highlight them, then right-click and select Add Major Grid Lines. It might not look like much now, but trust me, when you've got a lot of products or projects going, it really helps to see the timelines better. Now, let's clear the white space out from each end of the chart. To do that, click the box next to our headings. Click Sort and Filter in the top right, and then Filter. This will add those upside down triangles to each category. Next, we need to find the earliest of all our start dates. In the Start column, click the triangle and select Sort Oldest to Newest. You can see my oldest date is 22nd of April 2023. Let's type that in a random cell so we don't forget. We also need to figure out our latest date, so click the triangle in the Finish Date column and select Sort Newest to Oldest. My newest date is 15th of October 2024, so let's type that next to the earliest start date. Okay, let's go back to our names and sort them back into their original order by selecting Sort A to Z. You might be thinking, what happens if your projects or products need to be prioritized in a different order other than alphabetical? Click into the cell next to Duration and then select Sort and Filter, and click Filter again to remove our little triangles. In this cell, type Priority. In the cells below, give each project or product a priority. Now, click the cell to the right of our new priority heading, then Sort and Filter again, and add the triangles by selecting Filters. Click the triangle next to Priority and choose Sort by smallest to largest, and your items are now back in the correct order. Highlight our earliest and latest dates and right-click. Then select Format Cells. In the Number tab, change it to General. As far as Excel is concerned, January 1st of the year 1900 is day 1, January 2nd was day 2, and so on, and every day since then is the next consecutive number. So when we click OK, 22nd of April 2023 becomes 45,038. And 15th of October 24 becomes 45,580. Click the messy dates across the top and make sure the window on the right changes to Format Axis. We can now take our earliest day number and latest day number and enter them into the minimum and maximum range fields for our table. That's looking better. The dates up the top are a bit random, so let's make them a bit more meaningful. For this example, let's make them quarterly. So a quarter of 365 is 91.25. The box below will change to 18.5 automatically. That's okay. Now, let's tidy those dates up even more. Click Number down the bottom to expand the panel. This all looks very confusing, so to help it make sense, click the Category drop-down and select Date. In Format Code, delete the D and change it so you have 3 M's. A / and 4 Y's. Click the Add button. That's much better. Now we can make it look a lot cleaner, so if we need to share it, the recipients only see the chart. Highlight the whole chart, right-click and select Cut. Click the plus sign down the bottom to create a new sheet. Right-click in the first cell and paste in our chart. You can now move it around a little to make sure it looks right. Double-click down the bottom where it says Sheet 2 and change it to Chart. Click Sheet 1, now double-click that and call it Data. Click and drag Chart to put it in front of Data. This way you can hide your workings. We're going pretty well so far, the chart is looking great. At this point, if you're finding this video helpful, I'd like to suggest you subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. Okay, let's say some of our deadlines have changed. Widget D is finishing a few months early. Click the Data tab and let's change the finish date to June. Now go back to the Chart tab and the timeline has now adjusted accordingly. Maybe Widget C is running over a bit. Go back to Data, add a few months. Now go back to Chart to see the changes. You get the idea. You can now easily change your chart to match your actual timelines. Let's say now we want to split our products or projects into different coloured categories. Let's make Widget D and E into their own group. Go back to your Data tab and let's add Group 1 to Duration. In the next cell, let's call our second group Duration Group 2. Flick back to the chart and let's add Group 1 so it only includes widget A, B and C. Right-click on the chart and select Select Data so we can select our selection. Click Duration and then Edit. Leave the series name the same, delete everything from the Values window, and now select the durations for widget A, B and C only. Click OK and you will see widgets D and E are gone. That's okay, let's get them back now. Go back to your Data tab and let's delete the formulas in D and E's duration cells. Now, this bit is really important. We need to put some zeros in here to stop widgets D and E's data overriding A, B and C. Let's create our formulas again for D and E's duration. Click into cell E5 and type the equal sign. Now click the finish date for widget D. Now hit the minus key and click the start date for widget D. Press enter and our duration has been recalculated. Let's grab the little green square again and drag the formula down to widget E. Okay, let's go back to our chart and right-click Select Data again. Click Add. For series name, go back to the Data tab and select Duration Group 2. Delete everything in Values and select all of the cells for Duration Group 2, even the zeros. Click OK and you will see widgets D and E are back and in a different colour. Let's add a legend to our chart now to indicate what the different colours mean. Click the plus sign to the right of the chart. Click Legend down the bottom. And then select Top. You can see now we have indicators at the top for Group 1 and Group 2. Actually, that sounds a bit better, so let's rename them. Go back to our Data tab and simply rename them to Group 1 and Group 2. Skip back to the chart and you will see the legend has changed. And there you have it, a really flexible Gantt timeline chart that you can easily adjust to suit your needs, and it didn't cost you a cent. And if you have any other requirements you'd like to know how to add into your Gantt chart, make sure to leave a comment down below and I will try to make a follow-up video soon, including as many of your requests as I can. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one.